Hello, 안녕하세요 everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys a pretty classic and traditional Hmong soulful food recipe for you guys. In Hmong Leeg, we like to call this dish "Plaab qab kib," which is basically chicken giblets that are cut up and sliced up and stir fried with fresh herbs. And this dish is a dish that I can only eat like at least twice a year, just because it's typically made with fresh farm organic chicken. And since my dad's chickens are being ready to use for BOUILLON during this time of year, we're going to be butchering some of them, and I'll be showing you guys how to make this dish, since I know a lot of you guys are curious on how it's made. The only hard thing about this dish is that it is typically made with fresh farm chicken, so if you guys have access to any chicken and any farmers that can butcher and save you the giblets, then you can definitely make this dish. Other than that, I'll show you guys how to make this dish. It's fairly simple if you can get a hold of these ingredients. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let me know if you ever had this dish before or if you enjoy eating this. And happy New Year, Hmong New Year to everyone, and I hope you guys stay safe and healthy wherever you are in this world. So let's go ahead and start cooking. Let's go. Okay, so let's talk about the meat. So in this dish, you guys can typically just use like the gizzards, the hearts, and the intestines and liver. But in this dish, I really like it with some chicken meat with the skin on as well, just so you have a combination of different texture and flavor. So I have about a whole chicken here that I cut up. It was like a 1 pound chicken with the skin on, just slice it thinly here. And then I have some of these gizzards and stuff here. I have a combination of gizzards here that I rinse really well, and make sure you get any sand or grit or dirt off the gizzards, and trim off any of the really chewy, harder bits. How you can tell is, you can tell when you cut through it, it's really hard to cut through, so cut that away, and we are going to discard it and just cut it really thin like this. This is what I did, really thin pieces. Here you guys can definitely cut it as thin as you want, as big as you want too. And then here are some of the intestines that is attached with the gizzards. We rinse it really well and cut it into smaller fine pieces here, so it's easier to eat. And then I have the hearts here that we cut really bite-sized pieces as well, and then some of the liver here that we cut really fine as well. So the only issue with this dish is that if you don't have access to fresh chicken and can get like the hearts and the liver and the gizzards and the intestines, then this dish might be a little hard to make in terms of things that you want in this stir fry. But if you guys want, you can just definitely make it with chicken and buy gizzards and hearts and also liver at your local grocery store, because I know they do sell those. But in terms of flavor, it might taste different. It won't taste as flavorful and deep in flavor, because I am using fresh organic chicken from my dad's farm. So if you guys don't have that, that might be an issue. But again, alternative would just be you could find a really good local fresh chicken and buy really good quality gizzards, hearts, liver, and whatever you prefer in this dish. And we also are going to add in some cooked chicken blood here, and all we did was we took some chicken blood and boiled it in water and let it boil and firm up completely, and then let it cool down, and you get like blood blocks here, and we just cut it into small chunks here, because when you stir fry this, they're gonna break apart anyways. So this is what we did here. So those are the 3 proteins we are using today. We have your innards here, some chicken with skin on, and some chicken blood. I know, sounds really weird, but this stir fry is great if you are into, the more weirder stuff. But we call this some of the good stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll show you what kind of herbs and spices we'll be using for this dish. Okay, so I just went and washed my hands because I touched the chicken, but I wanted to show you guys the herbs that we'll be using today. I have a combination of all varieties of herbs. The most common ones that we always use would be cilantro and green onions sliced. I kind of like rough chop in this stir fry so that you get different texture. And I have a lot of garlic minced up, mostly rough chop. And then I also have 2 lemongrass here that we rough chop as well. And then we have a lot of ginger. We like a lot of ginger in this stir fry. I did a combination of like thinly sliced and also minced here. And then we have some chilies, pepper here that we sliced up, and some kaffir lime leaves. I'm leaving some whole, and I've also went and minced up some just so that you can actually eat these whole ones. We're just gonna put in there for some texture and for color and for looks, but you can't really typically eat this just because it's a little bit more hardier to eat. But yeah, these are our herbs we're going to be using today, and seasoning wise we're just going to use salt and a little bit of chicken bouillon, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and start stir frying. Super easy. Let's go. Okay, so I am outside cooking this dish because it is very aromatic and it does stink up the house a little bit with all the aromatics. But in a pan here I have about 2 tablespoons of just neutral oil. You guys can definitely use whatever oil you prefer. I'm heating this up a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and add in the garlic and the sliced up lemongrass. We're doing these 2 first just to flavor the oil a little bit and to bring out the aroma. And I kind of want the garlic to brown a little bit. So we're just going to saute this for probably a good 3 to 4 minutes just to brown it up a little bit. Okay, it's a good 3 minutes. I see a little bit of browning for the garlic here. I'm going to go ahead and stop there, and we are going to go ahead and add in the chicken. So let's go ahead and add in the sliced chicken that we cut up here. And then add in all of the gizzards and hearts and intestines. And let's go ahead and season this with some salt. Stir fry this up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit of some chicken bouillon in there as well. Go ahead and turn the heat up a little bit higher. And at this point, we are basically going to cook out the meat and the gizzards and all the innards and dry it out a little bit. So we want most of the moisture to be released and a lot of the fat to render out. So that's our goal. We want more fat than more juice. So I'll come back in about maybe 10 minutes or so stir frying this, and then we'll see how it is. Okay, it's been a good 8 to 10 minutes here. You guys can see it's starting to brown a little bit because of the oil has been reduced and the moisture has evaporated. So let's go ahead at this point, let's go ahead and add in the ginger and other aromatics. So I'm going to add in the ginger, the pepper, and also the kaffir lime leaves here. And then I'm also going to be adding the cooked chicken blood blocks here as well. Stir this up. So you guys can add as much ginger as you want. You can add as much pepper as you want. It's really up to you and what you like in terms of texture and aromas. Okay, we're gonna cook this for about another probably like 3 to 5 more minutes just to warm up the chicken blood and kind of release the aromatics that we just added in. But it's almost nearly ready. Okay, so let's go ahead and add in the green onions just because I want the green onion stalks to actually cook and wilt down a little bit. We'll add the cilantro at the end when we turn off the heat so that it doesn't cook all the way through as much as the other herbs. If you guys want, you can also add shallots in here. You can add basil. You can pretty much add any other herbs that you prefer in stir fries. It's really up to you, but these are just the basic ones that we have in our refrigerator and in our freezer, which is quite convenient. Alright, I just turned off the heat. Let's go ahead and add in the cilantro. And we're just gonna mix this just to wilt the cilantro a little bit. And then go ahead and taste it. For seasoning, go ahead and add more salt, and maybe other seasonings that you prefer. Feel free to add to it as well. But other than that, this stir fry is pretty much done. Like I said, if you guys have fresh organic chicken from your farm, or you know someone that has it and can save the innards for you and all that stuff, then you can definitely make this dish and make it turn out just as delicious. But if you do end up having to buy like gizzards and hearts from the store, it will taste a little bit different, but it still works either way. But yeah, let's go ahead and plate this and eat it with some rice. It's so delicious. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and put this on a plate. And then we can go ahead and grab ourselves a plate of rice and let's eat. No. I know it might be a little bit weird, but it is delicious if you are accustomed to this flavor